Dreams aren't inherited. You fight for them, you suffer them, build them. When you first move abroad, you let go of your past with excitement. You feel light, like anything is possible. You absorb culture, history, and social dynamics at lightning speed. It feels good, the pride of adapting quickly, of learning. But then the honeymoon ends. Exile stops being poetic and becomes a tangled, bureaucratic reality. And suddenly, what you thought you had left behind comes crashing back. You start to remember what you have lost. The certainty that some things won't return, and the painful awareness of what that truly means. So, what do? I have been asked that so many times, and I have asked for it too. It is like who we were is tied to what we do for a living, as if our job is our identity. These days, finding meaning in what we do is pushed as a key to fulfillment. But the more we crave recognition, the more likely we are to confuse our worth with our work. But why should we exist only through our profession? Then, there is migration, which to me feels like a kind of incomplete suicide. You don't die physically, but so many parts of you do. And along with that, the person you used to be dies too. At the same time, it is a rebirth, a blank page, a new start. When someone studies and works in a field for years, that career becomes part of their identity. It is not just what they do, it is who they are. I have to admit, I never fully identified with my profession. Maybe it was insecurity, or maybe it was the toxic work conditions that left me feeling frustrated and burned out. Even after trying different roles within the same field. What I do know is that I left my profession happily. I was excited to try something new. At first, I was thrilled to be free of that environment. The strange thing is, I never felt more identified with my profession than after I left it. Especially when people who hadn't left their careers would ask me, "What do you do?" I had no answer. In this new life, I had no profession, no documents. I had been waiting for months for my titre de séjour, which we thought wouldn't take long, but months passed, and there was still no sign of my papers. Surrounded by professionals, I couldn't even speak the language. I had no legal status, no profession, no way to communicate. So when people asked me what I did, my honest answer was, I wait, and see what I can do. I was unemployed, uprooted, legally non-existent. Zero papers, zero profession, zero language skill. Sometimes I had said the classic line, I used to be. That something that I used to be wasn't even in my home country. It was in another country I had already migrated from. Suddenly, having something once felt better than being nothing now, than officially not existing. After a long wait, I told myself, I am going to look for work, anything. A friend recommended me a restaurant that was hiring. Me, I didn't even know how to boil water. I hated cooking, but it seemed like the one kind of job you could get even if you didn't speak the language. I needed a resume. Without spending too much time, I asked artificial intelligence for help. I uploaded my resume and I asked it to adjust it for the restaurant job. And wow, what a shock! My university degree was erased. the artificial intelligence left only my most basic education. All those years of effort, so many days of studying while my friends were out partying or on vacation, so many tears, frustrations, and sacrifice, all wiped out, just like that. I never cared much about titles or honors. I studied to educate myself, to meet my parents' expectations, and to have a stable future. But still, seeing all that erased hit me hard. This obsession with asking people what do you do for a living is a prison. It gives you a false sense of security. When you migrate, that identity is interrupted. The new job market doesn't always recognize your credentials. Language barriers complicate things. Getting qualifications revalidated can be slow, expensive, and sometimes humiliating. So, who am I? That question becomes impossible to answer. Eventually, I adjusted the resume and went out to knock on doors. I practiced my French intro over and over before heading to the restaurant. This is the first time that I go somewhere to look for a job. I was extremely nervous. I didn't know what to say. Well, I knew what to say, but I didn't know if I was gonna be able to say it in French. I tried my best. At least my point came across and she understood what I was saying. She told me that she would take a look at my resume and she would give me a call if she think that I am a good fit. She will show me what to do and train me, and she will see if I am fast enough for the position. I don't know if she will call me. I don't know. My hopes are not that high. But I guess I will have to see what happens. At least I did my part. Whatever is left is not up to me until I start the training, if I do. That was the main thing that I wanted to record. It was funny because I was so nervous that I was going out of the door just in my thermals, because I forgot that I was not wearing my pants and I was just like wearing the thermals. Then I forgot the keys. Then I went inside looking for my cask for this, and then I realized that I had it on my head. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. And then I was all the way from my home to the place, like overthinking everything that could go wrong. It was not that bad as I thought. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, that's it. And the night is a little bit cold, but not too cold. It's nice. I mean, look at this. Grenoble is such a nice city. Sometimes life slaps you to teach you humility. A few days later, they texted me for training. I was excited, but of course, things weren't that simple. When they asked me for my papers, I knew it was over. I explained I have waited for months, but the owner told me kindly, "I understand, but I can hire you without your papers. Please come back once you have them." And just like that, I was back to zero. Or maybe I never left it. Who am I? Migration shakes your identity to the core. Unlike regular life changes, it breaks you. It breaks your environment, your roles, and the relationships that used to define you. Many people feel like they lose part of themselves. Rebuilding takes time, cultural understanding, support and networks, and staying connected to where you come from. The fear of rejection, the struggle to fit in, the worry of losing yourself, they are all real. But adapting doesn't mean erasing your identity. It means expanding it. Migrants often reinvent themselves. They grow. Yes, they face stigma, especially in low-skilled jobs. They lose their past careers, and society often undervalues their current roles. But even through all that, migration can be an opportunity for transformation and deep personal growth. And if you ask me, I know I will get through this. I know who I am, I know what has shaped me, and what does not define me. I am not my profession, I am not my immigration status, I am not the silence that comes when I don't have an answer to, what do you do? Don't let your most uncertain moments define your worth. You are not the confusion, you are not the pause between who you were and who you are becoming. Ask yourself, who are you without the titles, the degrees, the roles people expect you to play? If everything is stripped away, what is left? That is your core, that is your truth, and that is enough. I am more than what I lost. You are more than all that. And when it feels like everything is slipping away, when the silence feels unbearable, remember this. To lose patience is to lose the battle. Hold on. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience.